What's up, cool people? I'm Matt Conroy. Welcome back to Digimon Survive. So, here we go. I've already talked with Kaito and Aoi and Saki. I assume I can't, talk with them anymore in a way that, would do anything for affinities and whatnot. So, I guess I'll talk to Minoru, because that's the only other actual person that it seems I could talk to right now. Is that Minoru? Maybe I should talk to him. Anything else in the room, though? Also, I could talk with Falcomon, and that would use a move. I'll start with Minoru, though. Oh, hey Takuma, what's up? I'm going around checking in on people, since nobody came to the cafeteria this morning. Kaito's pretty worked up. He's talking about going to look for Miyu on his own. I see. Then it sounds like this is no time for us to remain idle. Yeah, Kaito can get pretty fixated on things, can't he? Especially when they involve his sister. Yeah, who'd have thought a tough guy like him would have such a soft spot for his sister? Well, this is a nice surprise. Seems like Minoru's holding up better than I thought. By the way, Takuma, what sort of comics do you like? What? Where's this coming from? I do not believe now is an appropriate time for such conversation. Oh, come on, relax. Besides, there's some things I want to ask because of this situation. I don't really get why he's asking me this, but let me see. I'm not exactly big into comics. Mostly just your typical hero stuff. I do enjoy the occasional romantic comedy too, but I bet Minoru would tease me about that. What should I say? Really, that would be my first question in this sort of situation. Although, so I mean, he's asking, what kind of comics I like. Maybe I wouldn't necessarily answer a question with a question. So, but I also wouldn't want to, lie about what I like either. So, in order to avoid that, I would probably say... So, why is it you're asking? Is there some special meaning? No, not really. It's just... things have been so crazy since we got here. I wanted a normal conversation. You're one happy-go-lucky guy, aren't you, Minoru? Yeah, it's one of my strong points. So I've got some favorites I've been reading forever. I can never wait for the next issue. Man, I can't wait to find out what happens next. Is it just me, or does Minoru seem like he's acting a little forced? Anyway, the hero's just the coolest. Of all the heroes I know, it's not even close. When I read it, I think about how I want to be like that. I'm not even joking. Minoru, please. Oh, right. You don't really know what we're talking about, do you, Falcomon? Sorry. Man, if only there were some comics in this world, too. Ain't that a shame? Do not push yourself so hard, Minoru. What? What do you mean? It is plain to see your heart is not truly in this conversation. No way, don't be ridiculous. Ha 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 ha. I thought so. He's been putting on an act. Minoru, you seem pretty down. I guess I couldn't fool you. But, it's not just me, it's everyone. Everyone's in a bad mood after Ryo's disappearance yesterday. And I guess Minoru is no exception. Why couldn't I do anything? Minoru. It's not like Ryo and I even got along all that well. He was kind of a loser, really. But I'm still not thrilled that he's gone. Minoru, calm down. And it sucks because I knew he was struggling. He had been since we came here. Why did I just keep ignoring him right up to the end? Yeah, I've been asking myself that too. And I didn't just ignore him. I kept teasing and insulting him even though he was older. Ugh, I'm the worst. It wasn't your fault, Minoru. You shouldn't blame yourself so much. You don't have to try and comfort me. I know what I did was awful. I don't think I ever treated Ryo right. It's hard to believe Minoru could get this depressed. It's so different from usual. I guess in his own way, he's been thinking a lot about Ryo. Falcomon, I think we should give Minoru some space right now. I concur. Yet I believe as long as Minoru can reflect on his actions in this way, his heart is in the right place. Doggone it, I'm doing terrible with affinities. Also, I'm curious what talking with Falcomon is going to do. Oh, Takuma, perfect timing. Something wrong, Falcomon? It's about Kunamon. As you know, he was unable to communicate with you humans. Yeah, apparently he had a hard time communicating properly. If Kunamon had been more concerned with this, and if he had gotten through to Ryo, I believe things may not have turned out as they did. Yeah, I think you're probably right. And yet, Kunamon tried his best in his own way. He thought to communicate using actions, not words. He did? Yes, Kunamon made a piece of equipment for Ryo. This is the result. What is it? Tell me truthfully, what do you think of this equipment? What do I think of it? I don't even know what it's supposed to be. Still, I'm sure Kunamon worked very hard making this for Ryo. I'd like to tell Falcomon he did a good job, but Falcomon did ask for an honest opinion. I'm honestly not sure, so if we're giving honest opinions here... Oh. It's a karma choice, huh? Alright, well, I'm still... I'm not sure. Then let us reserve judgment. There is one thing I could say, though. Oh? What is that? It reminds me of Kunamon. In that sense, I think it's well done. I see. In that case, I will leave this to you. Really? Are you sure? It was only a prototype, and I have no use for such a thing. I'd like you to have it. Anti-paralysis crystal. Ah, okay. I'm sorry I troubled you with this, Takuma. Okay, that might have been worth the move to get that. Although, I say it might have been worth it, but I doubt I'm actually going to end up using it. Let me save real quick. So I could talk with Agumon. Or talk with Haru and Miyuki. Let's see what Agumon has to say. I mean, talking with Falcomon there gave me a helpful, well, potentially helpful piece of equipment. Bleh. Anyway. Takuma. Last night was awful, wasn't it? Yeah. First the professor, and now Ryo. We've faced lots of dangers since we came to this world. But for people to actually die... I'm reminded once again how much more dangerous this place is than I thought. How are we supposed to get out of here? How are we supposed to survive? Takuma, are you alright? What? Oh, sorry. I shouldn't get so down after how you cheered me up last night. That's okay. I'm still a little surprised myself. Surprised? About what? About Ryo. I still can't believe what happened to that human child. If that happened to you, Takuma, I don't know what I would have done. Yeah, same here. After all, it wasn't just Ryo who disappeared. Kunamon went with him. I feel bad for Kunamon, too. Ryo never seemed to understand what Kunamon was thinking. But I know Kunamon was concerned for Ryo. Why did it have to end like that? Now Kunamon doesn't even have Ryo. Human children are special to Agumon and the others somehow, right? But even so, the thought of disappearing must be terrifying even to them. So it makes sense that Agumon would be upset by what happened to Ryo and Kunamon. Well, I'm not going to abandon you, Agumon. Ah, Takuma. What a nice thing to say. Looks like this time it was your turn to cheer me up. Thanks to you, I feel a lot better. Well, I'm glad I could at least cheer you up. I'm pretty sure everyone else is still upset. Then I'll just have to fix that. Oh? How? Well, I'm not sure. Is there anything you think I could do? What might Agumon be able to do to cheer people up? Maybe if he went and talked with everyone like we're talking like we're doing right now. That might help make things easier to deal with. Then again, I'm sure they're all in pain. Maybe they'd prefer to be left alone. I'm not sure. Okay. See, I mean, that would be the honest answer, saying I honestly can't say. So, I mean, especially because I don't know if Agumon would necessarily have the right things to say. So, Well, it's actually only been a few days since we met. I'm not sure what you could do. Really? You don't have any idea? I thought for sure you'd know right away. Sorry about that. Hey, how about this? Why not do something for the others you'd like them to do for you? Oh, good thinking. That gives me an idea. I should go look around that one spot. Sounds like he's muttering to himself about something. Be right back, Takuma. Wait, where are you going? Don't worry about it. Bye. Well, if you say so. But be back in the cafeteria by noon, okay? Otherwise, Kaito might go off looking for Mew on his own. Got it. And now people's locations have moved around a bit. I could go to the woods by the school. That's probably where Agumon went, to be honest. Gonna save again. And, real quick, gonna check places where people aren't right now, just to try and find hidden things. Now that everybody's moved around, I, thought maybe something would show up that was different than before. Maybe not, but still, I'd rather check. Nope. So far, nothing new. Well, if it turns out to be absolutely... Whoa. Never mind. Okay, so... I think I'm gonna talk with Shuuji first. See if I can maybe get his affinity up. Agumon. Where did he go, I wonder? Okay. Talking with Shuuji. This is all my fault. If only I'd been able to keep it together. Shuuji. Wah! Oh, Takuma. Sorry, I was just talking to myself. No, I feel like I should be the one to apologize. I didn't mean to scare you. How are you doing? Shuuji, you look like you're in so much pain all the time. I'm worried about you. Shut up. What do you know? Not only was I thrown into some strange new world, I watched someone die in front of me. I'm sorry. I only meant... This is exactly the kind of thing the professor trusted me to keep from happening. If I'd had my act together, Ryo would still be here. I've completely failed the professor. Shuuji, I can see why you'd feel that way, but you shouldn't blame yourself. What happened to the two of them wasn't your fault. No, it is my fault. I'm the oldest, the one who's supposed to be the leader. It was my job to keep everyone safe. How am I supposed to apologize to Ryo's parents? He really feels like he's responsible for what happened. But it's not like he's solely to blame for it. None of it was his fault. How do I answer his question? So last time I tried to help him, he didn't like that, but also it wasn't like a karma choice, so... Only because of the karma attachment choice thing, I'm inclined to go with this answer. But then there's also that. Still. Well, I'm not sure what you should say, but I'll be there to apologize with you. After all, when it comes to what happened with Ryo, I'm at least as responsible as you were. Hey! His affinity went up. Alright, good. Yay. Thanks, but you shouldn't have to feel that way. I really am a terrible leader, aren't I? No, you're not. You're doing the best you can. And I think that's what counts. Well, who asked you? Anyway, sorry. But would you mind giving me a little more time on my own? Are you sure? Yeah, I could use some time to think. Alright. Shuuji's not taking this well, and his own strong sense of responsibility isn't helping. Maybe it's best if I just leave him alone for a while. Okay then. Now Labramon's there, for some reason. Maybe I could talk with Kaito and get his affinity up a little more. I don't know if he's actually the next lowest one right now, but... well, yeah. Kaito's definitely the lowest. I have not gotten his affinity up at all. Alrighty. Florma... Oh, those are the only two I could talk with? Okay. Well, definitely Kaito first. Are you still not ready to go? What's taking so long? I'm working on letting everyone know. Besides, you said you'd wait until noon. I'd rather not be waiting at all. And we all know that. But don't try to rush people too much. All that stuff with Ryo hit everyone harder than I'd realized. Makes sense to me. They've probably all realized the same thing could happen to any of them. It's not so easy to get over something like that. Till last night, none of us fully realized just how dangerous this place could be. Probably, deep down, none of us thought we'd actually die. We thought we'd be rescued. And Miu's out there right now, on her own, in a dangerous place like this. Miu. What am I doing? I don't have time for this. Hey, wait. Are you just gonna go charging out there like again? Think about what happened yesterday. We can't let the same thing happen to Miu. So I'm going, even if it has to be alone. It's like you haven't learned anything. Kaito, wait. No, I've waited long enough. This is bad. He might actually leave this time. I need to convince him to stop. But it has to be good, or he won't listen. Should I say we need to help? Should I say we need his help too? Should I try to stop him by force? I don't like the whole by force option. Maybe if he thinks we need his help, he'll stay. I don't know. Anyway. Kaito, if you go, you're putting us in danger too. Please, we need to stick together. I don't see what difference having one less person in the group makes. But wasn't the whole problem yesterday that we didn't work together? Well... Besides, in a world where anything could happen, we could use all the help we can get. I don't know. How much help do you think this hothead could be? He's stubborn, short-tempered, and totally focused on Mew. Shut up! Look, the important thing is we shouldn't split up. Kaito, please. Oh, alright, fine. You don't have to beg me like that. Besides, I guess having more help looking for Mew would make things easier. Thanks, Kaito. Oh, hey, look, I got his affinity up. Yes! Finally. Oh, what's this? Your face is turning red. It is not. Let's all work together to find Mew. You're right, Takuma. Thanks. I'm sorry, Takuma. Kaito tends to act without thinking. Oh, shut up. Okay, back to the map. See if I can raise anybody else's affinities. I guess if I'm just going based on affinities, I should talk with Saki next again. Guess Agumon isn't here. Never mind. I can't do any other... Okay. Still, I guess I'll just talk with them real quick anyway. I was feeling pretty down, but talking with you helped lift my spirits. Thanks. I doubt Aoi's gonna have the same thing to say. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't stop Ryo. It's okay. Really, it wasn't your fault. I'm worried about Aoi, but it looks like Saki has this covered. Okay. So, then who do I talk to next? Do I need to just start talking to the Digimon? Because Minoru and Falcomon are in the same place. Can't get anything more from them. So, yeah. Still, would talking with the other Digimon help more, or should I try and find Agumon? This one's no good. What about this one? Oh, over there. Yes, I think that could be it. I bet Takuma and the others will love this. Now I think I'll head a little farther out. No sign of Agumon here. Where could he have wandered off to? Hey, more hidden stuff. Although, is this going to be a battle? Yep. Who cares? I'll fight it anyway. Gives me another chance at possibly getting more Digimon to join me. Still gonna stick with the main character Digimon here. Okay, start the battle. Sorry, what Digimon do we have in here? Well, Gardramon's a new one, but otherwise, I already have a Gatsumon, so I don't really see much point in trying to get that one on my side. Gonna have them talk as well, increase Diatrimon's movement. Alrighty. I can get right up next to this Gatsumon here. And, oh yeah. Pretty good damage there. I'm gonna have Labramon's turn be the one where I talk with Gardramon. How do clouds in the sky look to you? See. Just, oh, okay. Didn't expect that to, you know, be such a good answer for him. If a friend was off causing trouble, how would you deal with it? I mean, if they were genuinely my friend, I would hope they could, you know, accept my feedback, so to speak. Didn't like that answer. Sometimes you should act on emotion instead of logic, don't you think? I don't know if should is quite the right word. Okay. Given Gardramon being somewhat robotic in nature, I figured that would be a good possible answer. Sorry, I'm going back and forth between, you know, engaging with the chat and, you know, trying to do this stuff here. Will he join? No, that's not surprising. Oh well. At least now I don't have to fight him. Not that I had to do this fight at all. No, dude, don't need to apologize. I'm recording this for YouTube videos later as well, so I don't have to, like, go back and download the live stream to do those. So, that's the only reason why I'm making extra comments related to going back and forth in the chat. I guess, realistically, I mean, I could just say what I'm thinking, but I can't be as sure that, you know, that ends up getting seen in the chat. So anyway. Alright. And I guess because I don't really care about getting any of these Gatsumon to join me, since I already have one, I'm just gonna go ahead and fight them and get more experience from it. Because, at least from what I can tell, it certainly seems like you get more experience from actually, you know, fighting and defeating them, instead of just, you know, instead of doing the whole talking thing and getting them to disappear that way. I am playing this on, actually, Xbox One, because I'm a slow person to adapt, and I really haven't had too many games that have really made me want to get, you know, a Series X or S. And honestly, with games with gold, I have way too many games to try and keep up with as it is. I have so freaking many games sitting on my hard drive, and I imagine that would only further increase if I got either of the series consoles. Yeah, I've thought about getting a Switch. I just, again, I have too many games to keep up with. So I've kind of, with Xbox Live Gold, somewhat have myself locked in to, you know, the Xbox line of consoles. But anyway, let's check out this location and see if we find out anything more about Agumon. Aha! That's perfect! Takuma and the others are sure to love this. But I might as well look around a bit more while I'm out here. I'm gonna get loads of good stuff. Oh yeah, I'll agree, the Switch has a lot of good games. I just, because I had the Xbox One first already, well, really it goes back to having the 360 and not necessarily wanting to lose access to the games that I had with that. And just, yeah. If I had all the time in the world, I'm sure I'd have, you know, all the different consoles. But right now, you know, life and adulting does not allow that. Anyway. Thought I heard Agumon, maybe just imagined it. Where could that little guy have gone? Anything to find here? Seemingly not. Okay then. I will continue attempting to follow Agumon's trail. Hopefully this is where he goes, maybe. Man, I sure have come a long way looking for Agumon. I doubt he'd have gone much further than this. I think I hear something. That's him. What's he doing humming to himself out here? Hey, Agumon! Wah! Oh, Takuma, it's just you. You startled me. Sorry. But what are you doing out here? Ta-da! Take a look at this. What is all that? Well, did I just read that times 5? Jeez. Well, I was thinking of what might cheer people up. And this is all the stuff I found. Wait, is that why you went running off? That's right. Remember what you told me? You said to cheer people up. I should do something for them I'd like done for me. So I've been collecting stuff I thought would help make them feel better. Oh. Sounds like in his own way, Agumon was really being thoughtful. Or being really thoughtful, whatever. Thanks, Agumon. I'm sure everyone will love what you found. I hope so. That'd make me really happy. Seemingly nothing else to find out here, so... Now what? I've already talked with everybody except Haru and Miyuki. Let me talk with them. Although, maybe I shouldn't have gotten into that yet for, you know, recording length, but whatever. That's Miyuki and Haru. Should I talk to them? Nothing secret to be found here. So I can choose which one of them I talk to. I don't know if that's really going to make much difference. Haru's usually the one that actually does more talking. So I guess I'll go with him. Everyone seems restless. Restless. Don't worry, Miyuki. I'll always be with you. With you. So that's where these two went. I wonder, should I say something? Both Haru and Miyuki are kind of hard to talk to sometimes. Although it is nice to see them getting along so well. And she's singing, I suppose? Huh? Miyuki, that song. Hey, Takuma, did you hear that? It sounded like Miyuki was singing something. Yeah, it did. It was too quiet for me to really make it out, but I heard something. But I don't know, whatever. Never mind. Or was I imagining it? Haru doesn't seem too happy, does he? No, if anything, he looks really sad. You think so? Then let's go cheer him up. No, wait, Agumon. Haru, Miyuki. Oh, Takuma, Agumon. How long have you been there? Been there. Not too long. Sorry, we didn't mean to eavesdrop or anything. You heard that? Heard that? He's asking about the song, isn't he? Maybe we weren't supposed to hear it. Should I be honest about this, or pretend not to have noticed? Then again, I am worried about Miyuki. Maybe I should turn the question back on them. I mean... yeah, kinda? I guess maybe that's the most accurate answer. What exactly is my moral alignment looking like right now? Okay. Maybe I should use the game's terms and say karma alignment instead of moral, but whatever. Let's maybe ask what, because it's hard to know what exactly they were talking about. So, I don't know. Heard what? Never mind. If you didn't hear it, that's fine. He seems a little relieved? I guess he didn't want us to have heard anything. Hey, Takuma, why'd you lie? You said you heard Miyuki singing too, just... Shh! You heard what Haru said, right? Let's just pretend we didn't hear anything for now. Are you sure? I guess if you say so. Hold on to this, Takuma. I'm sure it will be some use to you. Got an anti-fire crystal. Oh, thanks. This is a big help. Alright, we're going to see how everyone else is doing. But we should talk about the search for Mew. Can you two be in the cafeteria by noon? Me and my sister? Yeah, Kaito's waiting for everyone to get together, and I'd hate to leave you two out. Okay. Okay. Alright, see you later then. Everyone's probably in the cafeteria by now. I should head back. Back to voice acting for a bit. Maybe I'll wait until they're about to head out, and then maybe kind of push pause on things. Minoru was pretty upset before. Looks like he's in better shape now. Not to mention the others.
たくまくん、心配ばかりかけてごめんね。私もう大丈夫だから。バッチリ復活したんだよね。
そっか、よかった。
たくまのおかげだな。
ハルとみゆきもちゃんと来てくれてありがとな。それで本題のみゆちゃんの救出の件だが。
Yeah, about that.
それについてはまず俺から一つ言わせてくれ。本当は妹のためにみんなを巻き込みたくはなかったんだ。
But
なのに。
Okay.
うわー、マジかよ。あのカイトがすまねえだって。
Like, dude, why you gotta be so snarky about stuff like that? Maybe snarky isn't quite the right word, but
そうだよ。カイトの真剣な気持ちに水を差したらダメでしょ。ミノルって本当調子者なのね。
わかんないかな。俺はね、わざと空気を明るくしようとしてるの。
yeah, sometimes it's not the best idea to lighten the mood, though. Yeah, and everyone is really upset right now. Though sometimes Minoru can go too far.
ねえカイトくん、私たちに申し訳ないと思うことはないわ。そうよ、私たちみんなミュウを助けに行くつもりだったもの。
True, true.
むしろ謝るのは私たちの方かも。一刻も早く助けに行きたかったはずなのに、集まるのが遅くなってごめんなさい。
いや、昨日のこともあったからな。仕方ねえって分かってるから。そういうわけだからみんな手を貸してくれ。ああ、もちろん。
Yeah, duh.
ちょっと待ってくれ。この状況で言うのは申し訳ないが、本当に行くつもりなのか？
Of course, Shuuji still hesitant.
シュージ。
今のどういう意味だよ。そのままの意味だ。化け物の敵に正体不明の霧。その危険性は
Yes, he's still worried about that stuff, but all those things are exactly the reason why Kaito is worried about Mew.
亮と同じように、もしかしたら彼女ももう。
なんてこと言うの、シュージさん。
あ、僕は客観的な意見を言っただけで。ミユは助からねえってのが客観的な意見だって。
Yeah, I figured Kaito would take it like that.
暴力はやめろよ。ハルとミユキもいるんだぞ。
Oh, and by the way, if some of my reactions seem like, you know, I haven't played this before, even though I have, it's not that I'm trying to be fake about it or anything. It's just, you know, it's been a little bit since I've gone through some of these scenes. So, like, my reactions are still kind of somewhat fresh for some of the situations. But anyway.
悪いけど、そいつの言ってることだけは認められねえ。僕はここにいるみんなの命に責任があるんだ。リーダーとして慎重な判断を下す必要があるんだ。何がリーダーとしてだ。なもただ臆病風吹かせてるだけじゃねえか。
That's a bit harsh.
おいカイト、やめてやれ。
僕は臆病なんかじゃない。君のような無鉄砲な人間にはわからないかもしれないが、年上には年上としての責任があるんだ。
Again, with the assumption of the oldest having the responsibility. I mean, I do think that is a little bit of a cultural thing too, but yeah.
うるさい。お前は黙ってろ。修二さん、ちょっと落ち着いてください。
Like, man, the way Shuuji treats Lopmon, it's a darn shame.
カイトだって兄としての責任があるからこそ必死なんですよ。それは。
How had you not thought of that? Like, geez, dude.
そいつみてえな軟弱な野郎に俺の気持ちが。
That was unnecessary to say.
大きさってもんが分かってたまるかよ。僕が無責任だって言いたいのか。
ああ、もうこれじゃいつまで経っても話が進まない。
Yeah, this sounds, you know, a bit similar to when Minoru and Shuuji were arguing before, except Kaito's harsher than Minoru was.
僕やだよ、みんなが喧嘩するの。
そんなの僕だって同じだよ。
I know I should stop this argument before it goes on much longer, but how? Should I side with Kaito and respect Shuji's opinion? Or try to enlist help from somebody else? Like, I get what Shuji's saying, but I also get what Kaito's saying. Does it give me a choice of who I can try to ask for help? I'm not sure I went with that choice before. No, Minoru's not the one I want helping.
じゃあここは
それはどうなの？人の命がかかってるのに。
冗談だって。
それはないぞ。
そんなこと言われたってよ。
Really, I would have tried to pick Aoi to help.
そんじゃ探しに行く組と残る組の二手には。
それは反対だよ。行くなら全員でだ。
Exactly.
全否定じゃん。
And I just realized I'm speeding through a lot of this dialogue when I probably shouldn't be.
ごめん。
I didn't want to ask for your opinion. I wanted to ask Aoi's opinion, really.
もういい。手を貸してくれって言ったが、揉めるならなしだ。じゃあな、俺は行くぜ。勝手な真似はよせ。邪魔するな。
修二さんもカイト君もいい加減にしてください。
And there's Aoi coming in to, you know, assist the conversation. They're both like, just what?
すっげえ。あの二人を一気に黙らせた。なかなかに勇ましい。
I don't want to interrupt what they're saying, so I'm going to try and leave my thought in the chat comment here, but trying to go back and forth. Anyway, I didn't realize Aoi could get so loud.
ここで言い争っていて何になるんですか？こんなの時間の無駄です。カイト君、修二さんと喧嘩してもミユちゃんは助からない。そうでしょ？
それは。
修二さん、危険って言いますけど、危ないからってここにこもるつもりですか？
そんなつもりは。
ミユちゃんを探し出すのはもちろんですけど、元の世界に帰るための方法を見つけるためにも行動するべきだと。
あれ、なんか急に葵の声がちっちゃくなった。
短歌切ったのはいいけど、途中で恥ずかしくなったんじゃない？葵、恥ずかしがることなんてないわよ。さっきの葵、とってもかっこよかった。いえ、ごめんなさい。私なんかが偉そうに。
いや、葵くんの言う通りだ。俺もカッとなって悪かった。
よーし、それじゃミユを助けに行くっつうのにまとまったってことで。
いや、 なんでミノルが仕切り出すのよ。
なんかそういうノリが必要かなって思ってさ。で、どこに向かえばいいんだ？
確か昨日遊園地に探しに行くって言ってたよな。ああ、昨日あったテントモンってやつの話によれば、ミュウはアルケニモンから逃げた後、遊園地の方へ行ったみてえだ。テントモンがキラキラしたとこって言ってたやつだよな。
キラキラしたところ、なんだか素敵そう。
向かったのは本当に遊園地で間違いないのか？ほぼ間違いねえよ。あいつは昔から遊園地が好きだったからな。
それが突然見下ろしたところにできてるなら行かないわけがないってことか。
キラキラの大きな輪があってすごかったもんな。
子供ってのはみんな漏れなく遊園地が好きって相場が決まってるしな。みゆきとはるだって好きだろ遊園地。
僕わかんない。わかんない。
嘘だろ？
They don't know? Does that mean they've never been to an amusement park?
遊園地にいる可能性が高いことは分かった。
Yes, that's what it sounds like.
出発しよう。
じゃあみんな行ってらっしゃい。
いやいやいや、君たちも一緒に来るんだ
They
よ。
they keep trying to not go with the rest of the group on things.
どうして？
子供をさらうモンスターがいると分かっている今、君たちだけ残していくわけにはいかないからな。そうだろみんな。
意義なーし。
だな。
そう、わかった。そう。ところで遊園地への行き方ってどこなのかしら？
昨日電波塔の上から確認したから問題ね。
方角的にはいつもの森から
Kind of assuming it won't be a problem at all is
どっかにあるはずだと思うぜ。
よし、森の中を通れば
Gotta
いい
get
んだ
through
な。
the forest.
僕が先頭を歩くからみんなしっかりついてきてくれ。
What's he sighing about? Actually, that reminds me. He was acting kind of weird yesterday.
なあ、ハル。
何？
昨日のは一体何だったの？
Come on, stream. What you doing? Miyuki's always kind of strange. But sometimes Haru just seems off. Like he'll suddenly say something mature or act like he's pretty sure that's supposed to be been through things. Anyway.
ごめんなさい。僕にもよくわかんない。
そうか。ごめんな。
Is he not aware of it himself?
おーい、たくま、はる、みゆき、早くしないと置いてきちゃうぞ。
待って。二人とも。
Okay. Just kind of
お姉ちゃん。
waiting for them to actually get going, and then I'll probably end this little bit of recording and whatnot. Okay. Of course, the game wants to make me jump right into the next scene, but we have found that I can just, you know, pause the game, save here, and be good on that front. Okay. Alright, so yeah, I think that's gonna have to do it for now. I guess we're headed to the amusement park to try and save Mew. Okay, that's going to do it for now. Sorry if at times I seemed a little, distracted or whatever. I was kind of engaging with the live chat throughout parts of that recording. But it's events in the video basically consisted of, catching up with more people, kind of letting them know about Kaito wanting to go and find Miu, and after some heated discussion, Aoi jumps in, kind of gets people on the same page, and they all wound up agreeing to go and try and do that. Go and try and find and save, find Miu and get her to come with the rest of the group. But anyway, so yeah, that's gonna do it for now. As always, like and share if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and click the bell to get updates when I post new videos to my channel. Make sure to look down in the description for info on other social media pages and how to find and follow those. And of course, leave comments down below with any thoughts you have. So yeah, that's it for now. Hope you're all doing well. Hopefully I'll see you for the next video. But until then, stay cool, people.